Hello and welcome to today's video. So this time I thought we'd have a look at some of the more modern or non-retro games that I've been playing on my Steam Deck, and we've got, I don't know, 7 or 8 games that we're going to have a few minutes worth of footage looking at, and I'll tell you a little bit about the game and my experiences actually playing them. So we're starting off with the only sort of more modern driving game that I've got, which is called Dirt Rally 2.0, and it is a rallying game. Now, I've not played loads of time on this, but I have played it before on other systems, and in a way it sort of reminds me of the old Gran Turismo, where it's sort of super realistic and you have to really, the controls are very sensitive and you can't really push your car and just hurl it round corners like an arcade sort of a racing game. You do need to sort of tread carefully, as it were. So, I mean, on the official site it says carve your way through a selection of iconic rally locations from across the globe, knowing that the smallest mistake could end your stage. You'll need to rely on your instincts with the most immersive and truly focused off-road experience yet, including a new authentic handling model, tyre choice and surface deformation. Power your rally car through real-life off-road environments in New Zealand, Argentina, Spain, Poland, Australia and the USA. With only your co-driver and instincts to guide you, race on 8 official circuits with the FIA World Rallycross Championships, complete with licensed supercars and support series. Develop your team and cars around race strategies and progress through a varied selection of events and championships in both single-player, career campaign and a competitive online environment. And it truly is, I mean, it's very much online right from the very start if you want it to be, and you can actually enter right from your very first race. You can be playing against different people online. Really quite incredible. There's like 50 different cars, there's 6 different countries, loads of different tracks. Obviously there's lots of like practice courses and things like that. It's a really well-rounded game. Certainly, you know, if racing or rally driving in particular is your thing, I think you'll get a lot out of it. For me, I almost find it a little bit overwhelming, but as I said, I wanted to get a really good modern racer. So if anyone's got any sort of suggestions on, you know, a decent modern racing game that plays really well on the Steam Deck, I'd like to know, because even though this one's great, and as you can see it's absolutely gorgeous to look at, and the sound and everything about it is fantastic, I still get more enjoyment playing Outrun 2006 on the PSP port. Now this next one is Sonic Mania, and this is absolutely fantastic. So this version of Sonic Mania is a 2017 platform game, and obviously published by Sega, and it came out on all the main sort of consoles, the Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox, Windows, and it's sort of produced as a commemoration of the original Sonic the Hedgehog series, and for the 25th anniversary of that series, and it really sort of pays homage to the original Sega Genesis or Mega Drive Sonic games. So it's featuring super speedy side-scrolling gameplay, takes place over 12 levels, including several that were redesigned from past games, and the story follows Sonic, Tails and Knuckles as they try to defeat Dr. Eggman. You know the story very well. So the development team behind this was composed of members known for their work in the Sonic fan game and ROM hacking community. Development began after the lead developer, director and programmer Christian Taxman Whitehead, who was previously contracted by Sega to develop enhanced mobile ports of Genesis Sonic games. He presented a playable prototype to the Sonic team producer Takahashi Iizuka. Art, level design, audio and additional program was provided by independent studio Pagoda West Games and Headcanon, but the team used Whitehead's retro engine and aimed for a graphical quality between Genesis and Sega Saturn games. It was released back in August 2017 and became the highest rated Sonic game in 15 years. And most reviewers saw it as a real return to form. I mean, I absolutely love it. The game has sold over 1 million copies, and it's just taking those really ultra familiar original Mega Drive levels and like hyping them up a bit, adding new little things like the zip wire here, and you've got bonus levels inside the original level. It's sort of taken it to the next sort of extreme, and they've really done such a great job on this. It's just fantastic. And as you can see, playing on the Steam Deck here, it's an absolute joy. But as I said, this is quite a few of these. They're not exclusive to the Steam Deck, but these are games that I perhaps didn't play on other platforms, and they just seem to fit the Steam Deck really well, and that's why I'm playing them now. Like all the Sonic games, it pays once you know the level design. And here is one of those like bonus levels inside the level. Crazy stuff. So yeah, this next one, Human Fall Flat. So this is, well, I suppose it sort of started out as a bit of a puzzle game. It was released back in July 2016. Tomas Sakalukas was the creator, and it was published by Curve Digital. So it was out on all the main sort of systems at the time, and it's still going today, of course. It's also now out on mobile, on iOS and Android. It's a bit of a weird one because it doesn't exactly like get off to a flying start. I mean, it's a very steep learning curve just to get to control your guy, and I don't know if it's particularly hard on the Steam Deck, but it just doesn't, it seems harder than it needs to be. As you can see, your guy there, I think they call him Bob, he sort of like shuffles along, and basically, you know, you've got to be the right height to sort of open doors, and he doesn't jump very high, but each level you have to basically get to the end of it and throw yourself off at the end, and as you fall down, then you're on to the second level, and each one they get more sort of progressively tougher, and you learn sort of new things that you can do. It's a clever game. It's sort of like a physics-based puzzler, so you can like stack items on top of each other and then jump on those items to get to higher places, that sort of thing. It has got quite a big community around it, and there is now community designed levels, and you can sort of customize your guy as well, change his color and put different clothes on him and that sort of thing. But it's an interesting one, but it's one that you have to really have quite a bit of patience for. And try and resist going online to look at the solution. I didn't mind it at all, but it was one of those funny ones which you have to really like puzzle games to get sort of the most out of this, because if not, you'll just rage quit, because it's one of those sorts of games that you'll find is just too darn annoying for words. I said quite a steep learning curve with the controls on this, and maybe there might be a community layout for this particular game. I wouldn't be surprised if there was. So this is Doom, and this is Doom from 2016. So obviously a first-person shooter, and it's from the original Doom creators, ID Software, and published by Bethesda. Now, this was the first major installment of Doom since 2004's Doom 3. Players take the control of an unnamed space marine known as the Doom Slayer, as he battles demonic forces from hell that have been unleashed by the Union Aerospace Corporation within their energy mining facility on Mars. The gameplay returns to a faster pace with more open-ended levels, closer to the first two games than the slower survival horror approach of Doom 3. It also features environment traversal, character upgrades, and the ability to perform executions known as glory kills. Now this is fantastic. To be honest, I should have really hit the lights so it was completely black and all you could sort of see was the screen, because this is pretty eerie. I wouldn't say it was as eerie as, say, Doom 3 was, which was really sort of atmospheric and quite bloodthirsty. But this is still really, really good. And once you've grasped the controls, which takes maybe 5 minutes, you're there really, you know. And I played through every time I play it, I love the opening so much. I keep going back to the opening sort of first 10-20 minutes, and that's what I ended up playing here. And what you're seeing is sort of the highlights of the opening few scenes, as it were. Absolutely fantastic. And the glory kill ability, where you can just sort of get up close and finish the monsters off by hand, is it's brilliant. It's a highlight of the game. But the stuff around it as well, you can see it's very, very well polished. It's got a good story, and it really, each little bit of this sort of these like cutscenes or mini sort of instances sets up the next bit of the action. Now you can use the Steam Deck sort of touch controls like a mouse for your aiming. So I'm thinking I might try and reset my my game and try and use it that way going forward, because I do believe once I've got that licked, it will be an easier game to play. But yeah, it's really, really great. This game is always on sale. I think I picked it up for about £3.50, £4 if that. Very, very cheap. In fact, all the games that you've seen I bought fairly recently in the Steam sale, all they were on special offer, all they were free when I picked them up. So there is lots and lots of modern games and demos that you can try for your Steam Deck that aren't going to cost you a penny. So none of these will be too expensive. This is one which is in sort of like an open beta stage at the moment, Vampire Survivors. So the description to it says, mow down thousands of night creatures and survive until dawn. Vampire Survivors is a gothic horror casual game with roguelike elements, where your choices can allow you to quickly snowball against the hundreds of monsters that get thrown at you. So developed and published by Luca Galante, also known as Ponkel. It was released in early access on December the 17th, 2017. So what you'll see here is it's quite basic graphics, as you can see, sort of, old sort of 8-bit pixel style. But you can choose a few different characters to start with, and you're filling up as you kill the bad guys. You can run over them and pick up those little blue dots there, and that increases like your bar across the top there. And when it gets full, it pauses, and you can then upgrade your character. It's like a perpetual state for upgrading it. So the more you play, the better it gets, and you choose different things to progress your character along the way. I'm just still at the experimental stage here, but this is one of those games that may not look good. It's got that incredible one more try sort of element to it, and the bad guys get increasingly more and more, but at the same time your character is getting stronger and stronger. So it swings and roundabouts, but I mean, it's a great game. It's recommended. It's dirt cheap. It's like $1.99 or something. As I said, still in development, but it gets polished and updated almost weekly. So every time I fire it up, there's like a little update to load where they've added more into it. There's like achievements to get along the way. As you can see, it's a little bit like the old Robotron game where your one controller moves the direction and the other one controls where you're firing. Absolutely fantastic game. I really recommended this one. Just the sort of thing if you want a quick sort of 10-minute hit. But as I said, it's quite addictive, and you'll want to try different characters to see how you get on with them. It's got that element of frenzy, which is why the Steam Deck can't be held I'm not holding the Steam Deck very level to avoid the reflection, because I'm literally just I'm tensing up here. It's tense just watching it, let alone playing it. But it really is good stuff, this one, and it comes recommended. So I found a little treasure chest, and that's what you can sort of pick up different things inside that. Yeah, I really recommend you picking this one up. It's a great one. But my guy is almost dead. Sadly, my health bar is looking a little on the low side. Pretty hypnotic watching it. They got me. Now this one is fantastic. It's only in demo form at the moment, but the demo is completely free. So Agent 64, Spies Never Die. So this is a retro first-person shooter inspired by the classic 90s console shooters. So I'm sure you recognise this is actually inspired by GoldenEye for the N64, and later on Perfect Dark, which is also in the N64. It says explore new locales, accomplish varied objectives, and fight against state-of-the-art 1997 enemy AI. Enter a world of espionage and adventure. So this one came out back in June 2021, so it's been in development quite some time. Replicant D6 is the company, and it uses the Unity engine. So I'm not sure when this is going to get an official release, but unlike, say, now that, you know, I do play a lot of retro games, as you know, and I've played GoldenEye on the N64 in emulation form. This is easier to pick up and play. It's just, you know, 25 years plus have passed since GoldenEye was released, and this is taking that original sort of concept and game and really bringing it up to the modern age, and it's a lot of fun. It's as simple as that. It really is. Played so many hours and hours playing GoldenEye. Even played it 4-player, which was the first game I ever played 4 players on at home, you know, with 3 mates. Absolutely fantastic. And this is just like it. It really, really is. Except it's just smoother. It runs better than GoldenEye on the Steam Deck. And I said it's completely free, so there's nothing stopping you going to get this one now and having a bit of fun, because it's great. The agents don't seem particularly clever, but it is 1997 AI, and I guess they would just sort of stick to a set pattern. But each level's got an ultimate objective, and then there's other things that you can do during the level, like look for certain rooms and pick certain stuff up. This is like adding your ability here to sort of pinpoint. So I shoot the lock out to open the door, that you shoot the padlock out. And you can use it to try for a headshot. I'm sure later on you'll get a sniper rifle. That was one of the highlights of GoldenEye, wasn't it? A sniper rifle. But this is a lot of fun, as you can see. and I've had to edit the footage here because I ended up playing it for another half an hour. Which is what happens when I do these Steam Deck videos. I get so involved in the game, even though I only need a minute or two's worth of footage. Or in this case, I wanted to get like a few minutes of footage of each game, because I'm not showing that many different games. I just wanted to show you what modern ones I'm playing. I ended up playing them all for about half an hour or so. It was just fantastic. Now this is one that I had before I ever had a Steam Deck. It was just part of my Steam library, and I played it on my Mac desktop. Townscaper. So this is a really it's a chilled out sort of Zen-like game, really. The official description is that you build quaint island towns with curvy streets, small hamlets, soaring cathedrals, canal networks, or sky cities on stilts, block by block. So there's no goal, no real gameplay. It's just plenty of building and plenty of beauty. That's it. So Townscaper is an experimental passion project, more of a toy than a game. Pick colours from the palette, plop down colour blocks of houses on the irregular grid, and watch Townscaper's underlying algorithm automatically turn those blocks into cute little houses, arches, stairways, bridges, and lush backyards, depending on their configuration. So it was an indie city builder video game released on PC and Mac, and now it's available on Steam. Back in August 2021 by developer Oscar Stalberg. It has now come out on the Switch and a mobile version in October 2021. So it's a bit of an odd one, this, because on the desktop it plays fantastic, and I built some brilliant cities in it, and they're really cool. On the Steam Deck it's just a bit fiddly. It's just easier with a mouse and keyboard, this particular game, in my opinion. But it's great. The only sort of criticism I have, because I absolutely love sort of creating cities like this, is I'd love it, you could just sort of hit a button and it would put some people, it would populate it. So you just have some people sort of walking around. That's sadly sort of missing on Townscaper. Now this is Everybody's Golf 2, released in America's Hot Shots Golf Open T2. And this is still, by far, the game that I'm playing the most on my Steam Deck, which is bizarre, but it's a great PSP one. I use it through Emulation Station, and I'm using the PPSSPP app within Emulation Station and emudeck, and I'm just playing this, and it's just so good. I try and play like a round of golf a day when I'm playing my Steam Deck, so I try and do one round a day, and I'm up to sort of like a level 5 pro now, so I'm still not even, I think I'm not even halfway through the game yet, because there's still loads more courses for me to unlock. I think there's about 8 in total. This is like a Japanese themed one in actual fact, but it's just so much fun. This was a massive hit when it was released, and you could even at one point, up until about 2011, you could actually play online in tournaments against other players. I think it's just like the fun sort of cartoony graphics and that, it just make it such fun to play. The studio was called Clap Hands, and they did a few spin-offs of this. There was the 2 handheld versions. They did Everybody's Tennis as well, which was another one, and they did a few PSP minis, which are worth hunting out as well, although I haven't got around to putting those on my Steam Deck yet. I might well do that. I'm not really sure what happened, because they did release an Everybody's Golf or Hot Shots Golf for the PlayStation 3, and that seems to have been the end of the franchise, which is such a shame, because right from when the PSP came out, I absolutely fell in love with these games, and I'd never really got into a golf game in the past ever. I don't play it for real. I like a bit of crazy golf, but I'd never played it for real. But anyway, that is, in a snapshot, this is what I'm playing modern game wise, with the exception of this one on my PSP and Steam Deck here, and I absolutely love it. When they have a Steam sale, I always go in, and there's usually 1 or 2 games that I end up picking up, but with a bit of luck, there's so many free demos that you can get. It's just a case of search through the Steam store once a week and just try a few. You might be really surprised. So there you are. Hope you've enjoyed looking through what's on my Steam Deck. I often get asked what I'm playing modern game wise. Well, there you go. So thanks very much for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've certainly enjoyed it. As I said, this was a half-hour video that's taken me 5 hours to film because I kept enjoying the games. Do hit that subscribe button if you've not already for regular Steam Deck action. Always looking to put up a brand new Steam Deck video once a week. And I shall look forward to seeing you again next week when I think we're going to be looking at the Super Nintendo. Bye.
Target right there.